Please tell us where are you based now?
So I'm in Czech Republic right now, in Prague.
Okay. I think that the people that are watching us want to know a little bit more about your work and your company. Please tell us a little bit more.
Of course. So as Paula already mentioned, I'm the head of acquisitions for DA Films, the North and South American platform. So we're a curated streaming service that's devoted to festival documentary films. And we were founded by the Doc Alliance 15 years ago. So we're about as old as YouTube, actually. I actually have a presentation that I can show you, and I was hoping to maybe show the audience a little bit around our website to get people oriented and familiar with what we curate. Okay. Maybe I can share the screen and tell you some facts, and then afterwards we can open the discussion up. Right. So bear with me. It's the first time I'm doing an online presentation, so. Yeah. All right, so this is the Doc Alliance that Paula mentioned. It's a creative partnership of 7 key European documentary film festivals. So you can see the 7 there. As I said, it was founded 15 years ago. And DA Films is the main project coming out of this alliance of these 7 film festivals. It was created to provide a platform where films that came through these festivals could be seen and prolong the life of the film after the festival run. But over the past 15 years, we've expanded our reach and focused past these 7 Alliance festivals, and we now acquire films that are played at festivals all around the world. So we're based in Czech Republic, and we're available worldwide. We have 3 regional platforms, which is Americas, Europe, and Asia, as well as 3 national domains, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Poland. And these are in the native language of these countries, these 3 national domains. So Americas and Asia was launched in 2020. So we have been around during this very hectic and chaotic pandemic year. These platforms vary in curation and in content, but the back catalog is the same everywhere. So what you see depends on which films are available in your country. Some just quick demographics. Our users, most of our users are ages between 25 and 34, and we have a pretty much split on gender, male and female. And some of our strongest territories are Czech Republic, Germany, United Kingdom, United States, Slovakia, Poland, Switzerland. And as I say, we're only in the first year of our Americas, and we're hoping to expand it more into Latin America. Let me just exit this. We have more than 2,500 films in our catalog. And actually, I can go here and show you. I'm going to just stop this share and show you our website, if that's okay. All right, so here's our website. You can all see it. This is the Americas domain. We have, as I said, more than 2,500 films in our catalog, and you can find films that are made by a very diverse variety of films made by prolific filmmakers, festival hits, hybrids, experimental films, archival films, animated films, along with more traditional documentaries. As I said earlier, we're a highly curated platform. We have several curated sections on our website, which I can show you. And our curation is really what sets us apart from other VOD platforms. So we do not use an algorithm to suggest films to the viewer. We prefer to challenge our audiences and introduce them to new things, as well as try to offer a diverse selection of films. So here, for example, we have Film of the Week. As you can see, sometimes even though we focus on documentaries, sometimes we like to make an exception. and we like to sort of introduce new things to our audience to surprise. So this is actually a film from 1937 called The White Disease, and it's a fiction film about a strong dictator who's firing up his people to wage war on neighboring countries while a deadly disease is spreading through the population. So it's quite relevant in today's world, actually, especially with the pandemic situation. So we try to choose films that reflect current affairs, or that can perhaps bring a new perspective to the world around us and what's happening around us. So we have also here, let's see, we have what's new. So we have new films to our platform. For example, we have, let me try this one, Silence is a Falling Body. And you can see the film here in the profile. We have details. You can watch the trailer. And we have 3 different ways to watch a film. So we have single screen, which is right here. We also have a subscription. So we're mainly a subscription-based platform. You can see that we have two options. We have annual and monthly subscription that people can register for, and then they have access to our 2,500 or more films in our catalog. So you can see that right now we actually have a discount for the annual subscription for $2.99 per month. So that's something we offer, and some of our films are available for download. This particular title isn't, but some of them are available for download. So I'll go back here. Here we have the Spotlight On section, which is our main curated programs are on here. This thematic program is on art and artists, visual artists, but also cinematic representations of fine art. And in this, you can see sort of the films we have. And what this looks like, we always try to include some text to put the programs into context. And also, then we have listed the films that are part of our program. In this section, in the Spotlight, we do thematic curated programs, but we also do collaborations with festivals. So, for example, the most recent festival focus that we've had was the Black Canvas Film Festival in Mexico. And we really enjoy collaborating with festivals. It's really part of our identity as a platform. And so we always try to think of interesting ways to present films that have been and have screened at these festivals. And together we do a selection of films that we present to our audiences and that people can find. And hopefully a lot of them stay after the festival focus and become part of our catalog, which is very nice. Back here. And just to go back here. So here we also do a country in focus. Right now we have Canada, which is there's some really interesting films coming out of Canada, some really diverse in documentary form, things that sort of push the boundaries. So we really enjoy doing different countries. We haven't done Chile yet, but we're very much looking forward to it. You can see some of the countries that we've done. And here we have Spanish language films. Like I say, we're trying to make, this platform is for the Americas, so it's for North and South America, but we realize that right now we're sort of limited by our technical capabilities, so a lot of it that we have now is in English, and so we're trying to make it a little bit more accessible for Spanish-speaking audiences, and hopefully over the years we will try to make more and more of the platform in Spanish as well. So this is a selection. It's not all the Spanish language films we have online, but it's just a little taste, like a little selection of what we have coming out of Latin America.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have a featured filmmaker. So this is something that we also like to do on the platform, is to present the work of a filmmaker as complete as we can, which means also acquiring the early works in order to really show the growth and the complete picture of that person's work. So right now we have Elizabeth Lowe, and she's originally from Hong Kong, but now based in America. We're presenting six of her short films online. And recently in the fall, we had 3 major retrospectives, you can find here, on 3 very influential and prolific filmmakers, Alanis Obomsawin from Canada, Luis Ospina from Colombia, and Jonas Mekas from the United States. So if you can show you what Luis Ospina looked like. We had a lot of text to put his work into context, introduce people to his work, and then we tried to present a very broad slice of his filmography. So that's something we like to do. We also had talks accompanying it in order to provide additional context for audiences that might not be familiar with Ospina's work. So another thing we have, sorry, I'll go back here to the home page. The last thing we have on the home page, all the way at the bottom, is our thematic collections. If somebody wanted to do somebody's interested in a specific topic, they can click on any of these and get environmental films, for example, if that's something that's interesting to them. Or if people are really adventurous and want to dig deeper into our catalog, as I mentioned, we have a lot of films. So you can go here to the advanced section, and you can combine different searching criteria, whatever you would like, let's say, to find. For example, you can do country Chile. There we go. And here you can see all the films coming from that we have online that are from Chile. So that's just a little sort of quick taste of our platform. We have, as I mentioned, we have those 3 from the Americas, Europe, and Asia. So you can find them at the top here. For example, if we click on Europe, it'll take you to the European platform, which has the same catalog, but it's just the curation is a little bit different. And the slightly different films are presented on the homepage. One thing that the European platform has more festival collaborations, which have been, especially in the previous year. And not only did we have programs that were curated with film festivals, but we also presented the current online editions in 2020, at least in some part for film festivals such as like Irlava or Visions du Rio, the French Film Festival, Doctors Boa. So in these programs, you can watch the films that are part of the current edition of the festival. So they're available only for a limited time as part of that film festival. But this was something, as we all know, that was new last year that we were also trying out with festivals. So that's just a little bit in a nutshell. I just wanted to show you also. Sorry, I'm going to stop the share. Hi, I'm back. So the last thing that I wanted to just mention is that one thing we also do that's additional that we do outside of our web platform is also Facebook. We have Facebook conversations called DA Conversations, which are online informal discussions and Q&As with filmmakers, film critics and festival directors that are live streamed to Facebook. So that's something added that we just started doing last year as part of our promotion of the new platform and trying to reach out to a lot of people who are now stuck in this online space and trying to help filmmakers sort of promote their films as well. I think that's about all in my presentation. The last thing I actually I should mention is our acquisitions, or the process of what we look for in films that might be of interest. So I'm just going to share this screen one more time. And so as you might have noticed, we're not a database or a library of films, were curated. So that means that we also acquire a smaller amount of films per year, but we work more intensely with them and we promote them through the various curated programs that I've shown you on our website, but also through our newsletters and social media. So we really look for films that are not afraid to push the boundaries of documentary form. And we do not limit ourselves to just one specific format, genre, or runtime. So the contract that we have with rights holders or filmmakers is we're a non-exclusive platform. So you can have films on multiple platforms. That's not an issue for us. We do SVOD and TVOD, which is the subscription base and the single streaming, and also for download. Geo-blocking is with us as possible. We can block the film in certain countries. You can also choose availability of different formats. And the royalty rate is 60% for the rights holder. So that goes to the filmmaker or the rights holder, and it's payable once or twice a year. Our license term is 2 years and automatically renewable. And we also have an opt-out, which is possible in case you get that amazing Netflix deal. So that's a little bit something about our acquisitions. So I think that's it with my presentation. I hope that was okay.
No, thank you, Kristyna. It's really great. I really doesn't know what you were doing. And it's amazing to have this platform with all these films around the world. I think, and also the viewers and the people that is going to watch this after that, it's really great that also you have like a Spanish slot and all this information about the filmmakers and everything. I think it's amazing. You were talking about like all the biggest screen of what are you doing, but I want to know, like in this year, how have the things changed in the distribution of these films? What are you notice about how the people is watching more or less films? What kind of films they are asking for in this pandemic time that we are locked in our houses, in our countries?
Mm-hmm. Well, as you said, everybody all of a sudden switched very dramatically and drastically to the online space in the spring. So, of course, we saw a rise in viewership on our platform, a rise in people coming and looking for content. We actually had a 6 times bigger audience than previous years in the past year, which has been great for us. But it's a double-edged sword, because there's also a lot more going on now in the online space. So there's a lot more people, there's a lot more platforms, there's a lot more things to see. So for us, it's also important to see what we can offer to people who are interested in these festival films and interested about learning more about what we have on the platform. So it's important for us, like I keep mentioning context, but it's very important for us to provide some additional information through texts or newsletters or discussions that give something extra to these films, and also sort of make up for the fact that they might not be presented as much as they would have when the physical festivals existed. Or so that's something a little bit about that. I think in terms of trends in the past year, what was surprising, but I guess expected, was that we saw a lot of interest in our short films, so short documentaries. We had a section of the Balaban Festival was called Short Joy, and we also had a curated program on short films, and both had really high views. A lot of people were watching them and streaming them. And also in terms of acquisitions, I've seen a lot more short films come on. So I don't know why that is, if people's attention spans are maybe like the short film format maybe lends itself more to the online space, that people can watch a short documentary in between, I don't know, cooking or something. But that was interesting to see that the short films get the attention that they deserve, because I really like short documentaries, so it was nice to see. But we also presented some retrospectives, which I think also was quite successful, gave us some time to sort of really focus on a couple of filmmakers and really go back into their filmography and present them more complete picture of their work. And I think people have more time to sort of dig into filmmakers that they're interested in now that I don't want to say not everybody's at home all the time, but now that a lot of people are inside more in front of their screens more, let's say.
Yes, I think like in my personal experience with my company, you know that we are Latin American distribution company, mainly of documentary. We also have a growth in the sales, and because the television is going more public in Latin America is going more to the platforms, and also like they are asking for more content, and they like discover that documentary could be amazing, and they have they could have a really good audience, like to put in documentaries in platforms and also for educational projects. I think that it's sad that all these things are happening, but for sure also have been good for the already content, the films that never had like a big circulation, have some opportunities to sales and to go to another audiences. I want to, quiero decirles, chicos, los que nos están viendo, chicos, chicas, chiques, que nos pueden hacer preguntas por Facebook, YouTube o webinar, preguntas para Kristyna principalmente en su presentación. Kristyna, I want to know a little bit more about your Spanish section. Why did you decide to create it? What kind of films of Latin America or Spanish speaking are you looking for? How have this been to your audience, the receipt of this kind of films? Please tell a little bit more about it.
So the films that we're looking for are basically is the same sort of films. Has to do with the same with like our sort of, let's say, mission or the founding concept of DA Films, which is creative, author-driven documentary films. So we really look for films that are diverse in their form, in their topic, that push boundaries of documentary. We have films that are, hybrids, let's say, that are more almost on the fiction side rather than the documentary side. So those are the kinds of films we're looking for. With our Spanish section, it's sort of a first step towards making the platform more available to Spanish speakers. So we hope to expand that and to get more films, especially from Latin America. For us, really important is these connections with institutions and with film festivals, because that's how we also get more connected with the filmmakers and with producers and with people in the industry in general, because as you know, I can't travel there right now as much as I'd love to. So these partnerships are really important for us. Like with Bafisi in Argentina, we had a really great collaboration because their 2020 edition was canceled. So we were able to present a program with films from Bafisi, and some films even from the current edition, and sort of show their audiences at least some part of Bafisi and try to keep that spirit at least a little bit in some ways alive. And so we also had a Black Canvas, as I mentioned, and we're hoping to also have other partnerships in the area with Chile Doc, for example. That's something that we're very looking forward to. So we hope, yes, like I said, we're very open to acquiring and looking at films from Latin America.
Okay, for me, it has been something very interesting when you were like showing like the age of the audience. I could notice that between 25 and 34, you have like the longer audience. What do you think about it? Because normally the people in the world is thinking, oh, documentaries are more for all people or people over the 40s, but I don't believe in that too. But I want you to explain us a little bit more about it.
That's interesting. I never thought of documentaries for old people, but I guess you're right in some cases. Well, we really have a festival audience. Like, we're a very niche VOD platform that's very much aimed towards documentary lovers that go to festivals, but just people that are frequent festivals, and that sort of, I guess, aesthetic is something that's reflected in those numbers. But you're right. It could partially be just that age group has either more time to go online, or they're more used to seeking films online. Maybe they're more used to. It also, we do also champion a lot of younger filmmakers. Like, we really try to also have on our platform, especially to support young filmmakers, by putting like their first or second feature film online, and trying to give them a platform where they can share also their work, and share their work. So perhaps it could be, maybe it's linked to that as well, that we have this demographic. I'm not sure though. That's interesting.
Oh, my theory is that really younger people are not attached to a format. They look for content. It's more like the older people is like thinking, still like a movie is fiction and a documentary. No, it's in the younger people is thinking about a film, and a film could be a documentary, could be a fiction. It's more a little bit about that. Okay, we have some questions. There's somebody that is asking a little bit more about your business model, how it works, the 50% for the production company.
It's actually 60%.
Yeah, okay.
So it's even better.
Yes.
It's 60% it's the rights holder. So usually, most cases, it's the production company, but if you have a sales company, then the rights holder might be someone else. So it's 60%, and the way it's calculated is we take our subscription. So as I mentioned, we're mostly subscription based. So we balance the views of the film against the total number of subscriptions that we have, and then from that we have a report that we send once or twice a year with number of views to the rights holder, and from that 60% goes to the production company or the rights holder. Usually this is around, in the previous years, it's been around the €1, let's say, per view. But that was I don't want to say that that's set in stone, because it really depends on how many subscriptions we have. The more subscriptions we have, the higher, of course, the percentage that goes to the right holder, the amount, that goes to the rights holder.
Okay, there's another question of a member of our audience, that is if you are accepting series or only theater films.
We're not accepting series yet. Traditionally, we have done only features and shorts, and sort of reflecting what's shown at a film festival almost. But series is an interesting direction. It's definitely something that eventually you might see on DA films, but not yet, no, unfortunately.
Okay, you talk a little bit about it, but there's somebody, so Denise, that is asking, what kind of Latin American content are you looking for? What kind of audiovisual approach of subjects, what are you looking for in the Latin American documentaries?
I think what we really look for is a unique voice. So I think that's the key thing, because we're not bound by any themes or region or length or genre. It's more about the approach. If it's a unique voice and a unique approach to the documentary form, let's say. I think that's I realize it's a little vague, but it's we usually don't, you don't see on our platform like a television format documentary. We really try to get an author-driven point of view. So that's something that we prioritize when we select films.
Yes, I want like to talk a little bit more about that, because always also the people ask to me, why are you selecting this film, or why do you think that this Latin American film could be interested? And I think that is like you say, I don't think or don't believe that there's like a subject for country that you need like to buy, or it's more like the story, the approach, the unique approach in documentary. You look a lot for that. And also that the story or that characters could involve of an emotional approach to your audience. It's more like that. I think always like it's the story, guys. It's not like there's a Latin American documentary. No, it's more that. What are you talking about, and why an audience is going to be interested to watch this film?
Yes, I think that's the one of the things that you touched upon was this. Like the universal aspect of the story as well, right? But there's, of course, like the Latin American has a specific, depending on regional, country, a style, whatever. But there's this universal sort of connection that is really important in documentary film, or any film actually, is that I can watch a Latin American film and relate to it and reflect on my own life, let's say, or that somebody in another part of the world can watch a film and find these like little universal parts, universal sort of aspects in the documentary. So I think that's, like you said, the story and that are very important. Yeah.
When is the right moment to have like an approach with you, with when the documentary is in development, or is in production, or is already in a raw cut?
We usually see documentaries at the very end, so when they're completed. So traditionally, I would say before 2020, films would come to us after their festival run. So they'd be completed, they'd go on a festival run, and then they'd approach us, or we would approach them and discuss possibilities of being presented on our platform. In the last year, we've seen films come to us, or filmmakers come to us earlier. Let's say if they wanted to go online earlier, they didn't want to wait to see if there would be any physical festivals, or just they made the decision that they want to go online earlier. But we do need to see a completed film. That for us is important. It's good to have a dialogue and start getting to know people and know their work beforehand. But the final let's say selection, or the final decision is made when we see a completed film. And also another thing I should mention about our acquisitions is it also depends very much on the program that we're going to have for the next couple of months to half a year. So we select films also that might fit into our programming for that for the next half a year.
You have like an annual call for saving new films, or you all the time are saving films to watch and to decide if we are going to the platform?
Yeah, we don't have an annual call. So with us, it's like a mix between we do acquisitions by reaching out to filmmakers, either filmmakers we've worked with before, or films that we're interested in and we saw at festivals that we think would fit into our programming. Or we also get submissions from different filmmakers that are interested in our platform. So it's like a rolling call, let's say. But like as I mentioned before, since we're so highly curated and since we really like stick to our programming, it's always about timing as well. We could get a really interesting film that perhaps at that right one moment it doesn't fit into our programming, so then we come back to it, let's say a couple of months later, and see if we can then put it up on the platform, because we don't want to just dump a lot of films on the platform at once.
Okay. You just mentioned something about like the route of the films when are finished, that in the 2019 we all thinking about, okay, the festivals and go, and after that the platforms and the TV. How do you think that have changed this in this moment? Because I think that the past year has changed a lot of things in the way that you could distribute independent film. What do you think about it?
Well, I think people are really exploring different options, I guess, I would say. That they're diversifying in their methods of distribution. Because I think before, and this is only like my, I suppose, observation, but before it was very sort of like traditional, that you'd finish the film, you'd do the festival run, you'd go for the A-list festivals, then you'd go down and try to have a successful year and get it to as many festivals as possible, and you do the whole circuit, and then you'd go maybe online, but not everybody went onto like a VOD platform. Some films just never had an online life, and I think it seems like at least now people are just exploring a lot of these online options much earlier. So they're just like the same way that people would plan the festival circuit, they're now planning the online distribution circuit, if you can say it like that, which I think before I didn't see that much of. People would just sort of put a lot of effort into planning the festivals and then sort of hope that it would get picked up by, I don't know, Netflix or something, you know, or I don't know. But I think now people are putting a lot more thought into how they go online, where they go online, and like how they present their work and what they bring to it as well. Like what are the additional the promotional tools or sort of ways of reaching out to audiences so they can bring the audiences earlier to their films online.
Yes, I think something like you, very, I agree with you, because I think that this pandemic and that we are in lockdown and everything have also like noticed like how privileged are the people that, as we, could go to a festival or a cinema and watch a film. And there are a lot of people in all the countries, it's not matters how more developed or how rich is the country, that couldn't go to a cinema because it's far away or it's not like, and have been very amazing how in the digital world, there's like more and are growing the audience for all around the world. And I think that that is a question for the filmmakers. What do you want to have? Like a film that is going to win a lot of prize, that's great. But how many people want you to watch that film, or who you want to watch the film? If documentaries or normally you are thinking like you could do some change in the mind of the people about problematics in the world. I think it's really nice that this happened. That is open. The content is open for a lot more of people.
And I think it's becoming easier also for filmmakers themselves to distribute their films, which is also very, I think, important also in terms of having control over where your film is going and having different options for your film. But that being said, of course, it's not so easy that you just put a film online and expect it to make you millions of dollars. It's still, you know, obviously a lot of work to do online distribution. But I think that the point about accessibility is a really good one, because, for example, some festivals that I've seen online last year, I watched more films than I did when I went to the actual festival. So it's a bit sad because it's on my computer screen, but I did get to see a lot more films. So I think there are people out there definitely that never had a chance to visit, I don't know, Berlinale or IDFA or Hot Docs or, you know, some other bigger, you know, festivals that are now watching, you know, Sundance films at home. And it of course doesn't, I'm not trying to say that it's the same as watching it in a theater. Definitely not. And I would never want the online space to sort of replace a physical festival, but that's definitely brought, I think, a new audience that perhaps before wasn't there.
Yes, I think that we are almost done, but I want to ask you, what kind of advice could you give to some of the new filmmakers that have its very first film in this moment in pandemic, have a documentary they want to show to the world? What are your advice for them?
I think it's important to do your research on which platforms you want to present your film on, because the online world, of course, now is completely interconnected, and there's networks and everything, and there's lots of ways to reach your audiences, and there's lots of platforms out there. But it's worth making a strategy and a plan and doing research on where you want to place that film and where your audience is, and how to best get your audience or an audience to watch your film. Whether that means different promotion that you do, or putting it on a platform that you know might resonate with the audience that comes to that platform. And I think diversity is good, not just to put it on one place and then expect everyone to come to it, but putting it on finding different methods and different places to put it, and different strategies, how to promote it, I think is really important. So I guess do your research is what I would recommend, because it's a confusing space as much as it's the online world. There's just a lot going on right now. So
yes, it's a very big world, and I think that also the pandemic has reflected that. I always also tell to the people, like, it's not like, oh, I finished my film, I'm going. No, it's when you are in development, in production, please do your research. Start to talk with sales agents, with the festivals. Come to this kind of a space to network of the industry, because every film has its own distribution route, but and you have to do your apuestas, your bets.
Yes, okay? Exactly.
I don't know if you want to tell a little bit more, or because I think we are in the hour. Please, Chile.
No, we just wanted to thank you, everyone, for watching, and you, Claudia, for moderating, and Connecta for organizing this, because it's really exciting to be able to present this platform. And definitely, I would tell everyone to come check out our website and have a look around and browse around and see if you find any films that you like. And definitely to get in contact with me if you have any projects or any films that you'd like us to see. So our doors are open, so to speak.
Okay, I think that we are finished. I don't know if Paola or Camilo want to close this conversation. It's amazing to have you, Kristyna. Really, I don't know, and I know that a lot of people doesn't know about your platform and your work as a distributor. And okay, and I'm closing the panel. Thank you so much. The contacts of Kristyna, also me, you have in all the network. And
yes.
Okay, and have a nice day. See you in the next conversation and in the next panels.
Thank you.